Yo, Zalo, what's up? Welcome, everybody. Hello. I just got some stuff I need to wrap up before the end of the season. I really think it's just Conqueror. Grand Master Insight Terminus. Do we think... Oh, I bet I can D2 LFG this one. Right? No one's Flamekeeper gilded. Flamekeeper didn't guild the second time, and Champ didn't guild. Flamekeeper, it says it gilded. Right? That's right. I'm not gonna solo it. Dude, I'm so washed on Destiny right now, no shot. Champ is definitely lacking, though. Champ didn't guild the second time. But it got the number. I don't care if it's not orange. You know, if it's purple instead of orange, I don't really care about that. As long as I got the 3. But Champ is still... Champ should be guild 2. It never hit it. Almost finished with all your Zombies Alive feed catch-ups. Gotta say, great work, man. Thank you. Yeah, we got very close to beating Tag Toten last night. Didn't quite get it, so we'll run that back later. At some point, probably tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on how I'm feeling. What are the champs in Insight Terminus? It's it's Cabal, so it should be Barrier, Unstop. Is that right? Yeah. Barrier, pulse. Shit, this is kind of freelo. Shit, bro. Is it trying for platinum breach execution super specific, or am I missing something? Breach execution, seasonal? No, I don't remember anything being too crazy. Did you know there was a Destiny poster in Halo 3 ODST? I did. What's up, Bert? Do you think Revenant will gain more value if there's a reprised raid? Will gain more value if there's a reprised raid. Of course, no Wrath, something else. And Dungeon, Dungeon RW. Or WR. World's Race? World's First Race? Oh, we are getting, sorry. Yeah, I mean, look, I've always said this. Like, when I rank raids, or when I rank seasons... Let me post for this real quick. Or if I'll see, like, if join Scare Online. If 2 people want to join to do the GM, you can. If not, I'll just LFG it. Oh, it's Solar Surge. Yeah, we'll be good. I always say, like, people say they can, like, separate the free content from the seasonal content or whatever. In my mind, I know I can't. And that's why when I talk about seasons or episodes, it's a period of time. And yeah, I mean, for me, episodes or raid or seasons, episodes or seasons that come out with a raid, or they're almost always viewed more favorably in my mind. So, Leb, how are you doing, my friend? Yeah, I don't remember this being kind of crazy. This one for Intrepid, right? The Platinum. I don't think so. Hope we get the same or more secrets than Warlords. I agree. I'm so excited. What do we think the dungeon's gonna be? The only free content we're getting is Haunted Sectors Part 5. If there's a reprise raid, it'll be free. Reprise raids are always free. Yeah, I hope they change up Festival of the Lost, but I don't think they will. What do you think about computational physics? So I like my experience would be more with computational chemistry, which is a type of physical chemistry, so it's kind of the same thing. I think it's cool. It's definitely not like my interest. Insight. We've used it in some projects before. Insight Terminus. Not my favorite branch of chemistry, and I think I've read a lot of papers where people will get like interesting results and then I think interpret it in a way I wouldn't. Yeah, no. It's cool though. I know I have a lot of friends that are computational chemists. A reprise raid, I don't know, man. I feel like they would have talked about it. You know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong. I hope there is a reprise raid, but I'm not holding my breath. It is very promising that we get 2 raids next year, though. That's cool. But if, there's no more raid content for 10 months until summer 2025, that's a little, it's a little worrying. Could be an Act 3 thing. They could do Dungeon Act 1, Raid Act 3, Dungeon Act 1 or 2 of the next episode. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think we get a reprise raid. I hope so. I hope we do, but I don't think we are going to. But we'll fucking see, man. No one wants to do this. This fucking GM. What's the reprise raid be? Eater of Worlds? Literally, I'll take anything. Anything. I just want the races. Like at this point, the world's first race is like, oh my god, dude. Oh, this is rough. Okay, we'll go Fire Team Finder. Maybe I'll be able to find people there. There's no reprise. Well, we don't know that for sure. There's likely no reprise, I agree. But talking in concrete when we literally don't know, I think is very silly. Insight Terminus. Nope. Oh, my prophecy. Oh, no! I'm so dumb. All right, it's public now. Sorry, everyone who's tried to join. Sorry, Destiny 2 LFG Discord. Raid layers could come back somehow how if they wanted. I dislike them being there. I would dislike them being there. My problem with raid layers is I don't think that term ever should have existed. I think it is a wildly inconsistent term. For instance, Scourge was originally called a raid layer. If you look at the marketing for Season of the Forge, Scourge of the Past was originally called a raid layer, but it doesn't really fit any of the criteria of being a raid layer. And then Crown of Sorrow was also called a raid layer. It fits all of the criteria for being a raid layer, but now they just started calling it, and the community just called it a raid. Is a highly inconsistent terminology that is utter nonsense, and I think only serves to like devalue raids that have like genuinely good parts in them. Like everyone's main argument, like Eater, yeah, it's like it could use a couple more encounters. Let's not get it twisted. Spire's like a genuinely good raid. And people just shit on it, and usually there are 2 arguments against Spire. 1, it's a raid layer, which I think is nonsense, and 2, it's buggy, and generally, there are a couple bugs in Spire, but generally when people call Spire of Stars buggy, that's a self-report that they just don't know how the mechanics work, so. I think raid layers just means 3 encounter raids, which is the same as dungeons. That is not how Bungie defined raid layers. When raid layers were originally defined, it was raids that take place, smaller raids that take place. I don't even think they said smaller. It's just raids that take place in areas that we have already had raids in before. No, all of that stuff is gone, XC. They're definitely doing a contest dungeon to make up for no raid. Possibly. They might be. They might be. If, you know, and when we go back to 2 raids, 2 dungeons next year, if that is the case, I hope they still do it. I think contest dungeons, I think, is a really fucking cool thing, and I hope they continue that. But once again, until we get like official confirmation, I'm not gonna sit here and like make concrete statements, because I do think that's pretty silly to talk in definites when you definitely don't know. Damn, put that on a t-shirt. That was fucking good.
Well, that's good news. Maybe we won't run into much resistance.
Yeah, but since Dad kind of follows you around, I wouldn't count on that.
Positive as ever, I see.
Yo, fucking chill, bro. It's like, it's also like most people I think would consider Scourge or Scourge of the Past to be 4 encounters, but I definitely think there is an argument to be made that Servitor is a traversal encounter and not a full encounter. You know, I think I'm not saying I'm going to make that argument, but I think that argument could definitely be made. They would have already announced it though, don't you think? It depends when it comes out. I mean, we still have 10 months left of this year of Destiny before the next year starts, so need I remind you, Crota's End was not announced until like fucking 3 hours before it came out. It wasn't quite that. I think it was like 2 weeks, but bro, we knew that shit was happening and they still didn't tell us. And same with King's Fall, actually, because both for my team announcements for Crota's End and King's Fall, Destiny 2 versions of both of those, I made the image every raid it could be. I very specifically remember that. So, no, in fact, I do not think they would have necessarily already told us, because Bungie has a long history of not marketing things they should definitely be marketing. Does anyone know if the pacifist colony on Pluto ever got mentioned again? I have no idea. That's like honestly Bungie's specialty. Market? Who needs to market? Usually it's like a one-off line in an interview or something, you know? You could devil's advocate, you could chalk that up to, you know, because of the layoffs, they haven't been doing as many interviews this year. That sort of thing. Which is why we haven't had anything like that. But like I think it was last year, the only mention of a raid, reprise raid, up, you know, like 2 weeks before it even happened. Up to 2 weeks before it even happened or whatever, was in like a fucking Game Informer article or something. Whatever the orange website is. I can picture the logo for the website. It's Game something. Have you ever heard of the word voodoo? Yeah. It's a fucking baller Godsmack song, dude. Is that an old... Do you guys know Godsmack? Am I like... Is that like a super fucking dated reference? Or... Oh, please don't kill me. I'm nice. Do you believe in the occult? No, I'm a chemist. I do think that sort of like mythology is really fucking cool though. I love like those themes. I'm a big horror movie guy and stuff, but no, I don't. If it is considered supernatural, I can guarantee to you Scare09 does not subscribe. But they're cool. Yeah, I'm kind of a fucking emo fall girl, bro. What can I say? You know what I mean? Bro, chemistry originated in alchemy. There's a lot of difference between people thinking they can turn elements into other elements because they're ignorant, or they don't have like characterization methods, so they think like phosphorus is gold or whatever, versus like straight up black magic. There's a big difference between human ignorance and magic, bro. If you think a cult is dope and you fuck with anime, you should watch well, I hate to burst your bubble, but Scaro also does not fuck with anime. Newton's ignorant. Where are your laws of motion? Dude, Newton like slept with like 3 of his cousins, dog. And I think one of them was underage. Newton was kind of creepy. And I think he was like, you can read Newton's like diary or whatever journal is published. You can read it. Newton was, he was a product of mental, you know, mental disorders in the time, let's say. And I think, was Newton not also like incredibly racist? Newton did not die a virgin, my friend. It's, sorry, Soulcaster, it's Dr. Scarrow9. Lamau. No, I'm just, but no, if you read, we did this in grad school, I remember. You can look up like his, Newton's like actual journals. Weird dude. No, absolutely not based Newton. That's fucked up. Someone time him out for that. I don't even care if that was a joke. None of that. No. Do you think Newton would farm Guardian? Yes. Yes. He didn't understand the gravity of the situation. That's fucking incredible. That's incredible. Look, not saying that calculus is like for nerds or whatever, but fucking calculus is for nerds or whatever. You know what I mean? That's fucking incredible. Also, Newton was like definitely ignorant of a lot of things, right? Like that's just a product. Like we're ignorant of things. You know what I mean? I stay here. I make plastics all day. One day, some nerd neck in his office playing video games is gonna be like, "Ah, oh, Scarrow, he didn't know how to make perfectly recyclable biopolymers. What an idiot!" You know what I mean? Like that's literally that's just a product of living now or living when you do, compared to living in the future. So, can't even reduce a matrix to its eigenvalues. Dude, I had to do that sort of shit in fucking quantum physics, or quantum chemistry. In physical chemistry 2:quantum chemistry. That shit fucking sucked, okay? All the, what's the classic eigen, is it eigen equation? The Hamiltonian equation or whatever? Fuck that, dude. Fuck all of that. If I never see a sequence in a series again, I will die the happiest man on earth. Calculus is a bunch of nonsense. Sorry, not sorry. At least with chemistry, I can like, you know, I can make a theory about like how electrons might react. You know what I mean? And I can put things together and I can at least test my hypothesis. Fucking, these nerds are talking about magic, bro. God, I hated all of that. Yo, Vertigo, what's up? Explain this to me. I never saw this person. Then one day I dream of the exact person. The next day I meet them. How is that possible? Drugs. No, dog. I mean, look, if you believe in that sort of stuff, that's cool. But take an extra hit for me, buddy. Physics is impossible without calculus. That's not true. Physics is a state of existence. Calculus is how we quantify our understanding of of natural laws. Physics exists just fine without us being able to quantify or describe them. Everyone told me to take AP chemistry in high school. It'd be free, and I actually want to blow up. I don't know why it's so confusing. Chemistry is one of those things, especially early on. Right, there's just a lot of memorization. It very quickly, like, higher... Goddamn, Nightfalls are way too easy now. Higher level chemistry very quickly becomes brute force memory to, if you don't understand what's going on, you're not going to have a good time.
There's only one data artifact here, labeled Oxa, and it's seriously corrupted.
That's why I prefer chemistry to, like, biology. Because biology is just, like, memorizing coenzymes and cofactors and blah.
And who is Oxa?
Depression, you know. Biological shit. But chemistry, like, once you have an idea of reactivity and the different types of reactions and functional groups and these sorts of things, you can kind of like guess your way through things. Like, not guess, but you know what I mean? Like, you look at things and you kind of understand how things might interact. I think that's kind of cool. It's explained very easily. You cannot trust your own perceptions and senses at face value, especially if he's on drugs. I covered that. That was what my answer was, but you said it more eloquently. Physics will work fine no matter how much thinking humans do. So based. In fact, I mean, we've been trying to fucking solve our understanding of quantum physics for, you know, decades now, which is a long, well, I guess a couple centuries really, if depending on how you would define the line between quantum and like regular. What's the opposite of quantum physics? Regular physics, normal physics. There's a fancy word for it. Macro physics, big physics. I swear, I'm not going crazy. I haven't had to think about this shit in years. Classical physics. Thank you, Jesus. That was classical. Oh, Jesus Christ, One Vision. Red Star is an ancient symbol that has power. The Soviet Union was aware of this and utilized it during during World War II. The Germans knew as well, made a pact with different powers, but failed. Yeah, glad that worked out for both of them, eh? Look, man, their tanks just sucked, and also like very tactically, both of those individualities made very bad strategic decisions that led to large amounts of casualties. Is it Mayhem? Oh, it's fucking Iron Banner, bro. Why do you think there are stars in the US flag? Well, you see. What kind of question is that, dog? That's a ridiculous question. Oh, man. There's always... Oh, is one... Do we think... Lab, are you thinking what I'm thinking? The identity of One Vision? Are we on the same wavelength? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Lab, yes. Yes, bro. We're on the same... We're fucking vibing today. Okay, I need, what, Void Kills and Gambit? Well, I want to go through and do some of my seasonal challenges. Neomuna. Oh, shit. Bro is lying. God, is there something... Is there... Oh, I can do this. Overthrow and blooming and impasse. There should be... Someone should develop a tool. Lab, a couple of years too late, but you should develop a tool that looks at all of the seasonal challenges and groups them based off of what they are and tells you the fastest way to do them together. This dude is awesome. Can we keep him? You mean Destiny 2 Synergy? That does not exist. I'm gonna turn on my air conditioner. Hoodie, it's... Look, we're on the edge of hoodie season. Okay? So... By the way, tell me this hoodie isn't fucking fire, my friends. Check this shit out. Look at that. Look at that. Oh! Beautiful. It's got a cool little smiley face on the back. Look at that. Boom. Fucking insanity. Is doing all seasonal challenges part of Max Triumph Score? No. I just need content. Destiny season Edge of Hoodie. Hell yeah, brother. So I should, if I'm at max Triumph Score, I should have 172,065. God, they keep changing where Triumph Score is. Wait, what? Oh, was I thought the Triumph... I thought the Echo's Triumph was worth 10. It was only worth 5? What the fuck? I don't even know what's happening anymore. Alrighty, we are speeding. Yo, Andrew, what's up, brother? Yeah, seasonal challenges go away before the end of an episode, yeah. Or before, at the end of an episode, I suppose. Life is switching up content? What do you mean? He says it sometimes works. Let's go. I might check it out. Is this the final warning? The final warning of what? Did you ever do Legion, the Outbreak Easter egg boss solo? No, I did all of the Outbreak. Was there 2 Outbreak Easter eggs? I think I did them with my friend Ratul. I do remember that one sucking though. God, I kind of want to go play zombies, man. No. Do you know, like, how down bad I would have to be to remember a troll from fucking 8 years ago? That's ridiculous. I have better things to occupy my mind, like, the mental images I have of your mother last night. Let's go! Got him! Do you want content? Get your wife to play Destiny. No, not like that. That was me as well. You were your mom last night. That's fucking wild. That's a crazy thing to say. What the fuck was I saying? I don't even remember anymore. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't... There will be new content. It'll be good. But it's just gonna be different now, you know what I mean? Just how it goes. Why do people take pride in being losers? There's about 63 million people I want to ask that question to, but... You gotta put the sub in only chat, think of all the subs for all these bots. That's a fucking... That's a good point. I don't want to log out the rest of people though. Lab, you are not a loser, my friend. How do you say loser in Dutch? Is it like something fun like Das Lucen Goosen or something? That would be so based. Oh man. I don't know, how the fuck do you even say that? That's way cooler than what I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, so like what sort of stuff are we hoping? Like, so I think off the bat we can just assume this could be dangerous. Oh fuck, I was not paying attention. I'm not responsible for any strokes suffered while trying to pronounce Dutch words, well, I appreciate that. I think off the bat we can assume that there's a very high likelihood that next episode is better than this episode. You know, seasons that came with expansions were always the worst seasons. I would be very surprised if that wasn't the same trend that we saw for episodes. Next episode's theme is fucking awesome. Vampire, Slayer, Thick Rule, Scorn, almost certainly Dread. What's up, Shrimpy? Yo, Vertigo, thank you for becoming a mother chicken. Dungeon first week? Probably, right? I don't know. So it's like, I guess... I don't know. I don't know what to think about when the dungeon comes out. I don't know, man. Hi, Shrimp. How goes the Minecraft server? Shrimp has a Minecraft server and you didn't invite me, bro? Oh, the dungeon was confirmed. I totally got. I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I already fucking know that. I knew that. I totally forgot, bro. Bro, this pen and paper guy's single-handedly doubling my view count. You're really pulling me through the drought, dude. I appreciate it, I guess. Do you think it'll be tuned to be soloed reasonably on contest? No. Just the setting of both coming episodes is better than Echoes, so they'll be better. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I do think, like, man, I'm just really bummed that they spent so much time on, they spent 2/3 of the season on the boring part of Echoes. It's just a bit, that's just kind of tragic, you know? This is one where I have to destroy like a certain... What are your expectations around Contest Dungeon? I don't know. I'm excited for it though. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot. I literally like... So I've got a little trip I'm taking for work-related things on that Tuesday, and I literally made sure I was back by Friday so I could do the dungeon, and I totally forgot that I did that. But what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to bring like my laptop or something. We'll fucking see. I don't know. I'm gonna like, if there's content to stream or like videos or guides to make on that Tuesday, when the season comes out, since I won't be home, I'm gonna try to bring like my laptop and try to edit things or something. A little nervous about all of this. Maybe I'll break out the Xbox One, pay for the season or something. I don't know. I am Mark, remember me? No, I don't. I don't think I've ever known a Mark. What's your last name, Mark? The dungeon releases October 11th or 10th, whatever that Friday is. But yeah, so it's the timing's a little unfortunate, but it's a pretty exciting trip, actually. So I pretty excited about it, and then you know, I'm not too worried about missing. I just hope, like, I'm a little worried. Where the fuck are you? Oh, there we go. I'm a little worried about the structure of next episode, to be honest. Dropping all the content at once. Mark Schmidt from college. There's a very easy question I want to ask you right now, but that's okay. I did not know Mark Schmidt in college. That was a good try, though. You picked a really common last name. That was a great fucking try. What if pen and paper is actually Pete Parsons? You guys ever think about that? I'm hoping for Mithrax and Ido to have roles in the season, maybe a new voice scoring since there's just pick rule and Varric showing up. I mean, look, it's a fucking, it's a wrap, right? Like we know we're getting a there's no shot that we make it through this season and we don't get the Forsaken Barons reskinned, right? Everyone agrees with me. There will be a machinist. There will be whatever the other ones are named, right? Like, oh yeah, J-Town, that's right. I used your guide for Encore, it worked really well. Hey, nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend. Yeah, as long as I don't miss the exotic mission, that's what I really care about. Story mode exposition. Because, like, when I feel bad about that I'm going to miss launch day of the new episode, all I think about is, like, all right, what happened launch day of Season of Echoes? And it's literally nothing. It's like, oh, no, I would have missed Breach executable day 1. Did they say a PvP map was returned next episode? Did they? I don't know. I want my baby Mindbenders back. I would be floored if we don't get Mindbenders back. They have not mentioned a raid. Maybe we'll go through the, that could be kind of fun. After I complete this, let's go through the, the episode trailer and see what they talked about for this episode. That's a good idea. George Promise returns. I think we already know the 3 exotics that we're gonna get. Yo, Joe, what's up, brother? You excited for Contest Dungeon? Dude, so excited. I'm actually like, I know it won't be the same as a raid, but I inject it into my veins through my toes, dude. You know what I mean? Like, holy. Destiny 1 PC remaster, make it happen. Please, no. Honestly, Destiny Twitter has a lot of bad ideas. Quote me. Someone clip this. Quote me. I don't even care. Put it in the bank. Destiny Twitter has an immense number of bad ideas. And the worst idea is easily the worst idea that Destiny Twitter has is Destiny 1 remastered on PC. What a waste of time. What a waste of resources. What was the trailer called? Wrath of the Machine returns. We get the first Pearlescent drop in Upward Prime. That would be sick, dude. You think so? WoW Classic was a massive success. Yeah, WoW Classic's a lot bigger than Destiny 1. It's a lot more approachable than Destiny 1. And half of WoW Classic, well, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about this next point, but is 3/4 of WoW Classic in modern WoW? Because you can play all the good parts of Destiny 1 in Destiny 2, with the exception of a singular raid. There is one good thing about Destiny 1 you cannot currently play. Oh, is it this one? Here we go. Was there a discussion about the theme of the new dungeon? Because if it's an icebreaker exotic weapon dropped in the dungeon, it's got to be something somewhat mechanically themed. I don't think so, because like Warlord's Ruin doesn't really line up with whatever that sidearm's called. Buried Bloodlines doesn't really line up thematically. I guess like Crossbow Castle. But then you have like Navigator, the gun, not the name, the gun itself, like Navigator and Ghost of the Deep. You know what I mean? Like thematically don't really line up. Hierarchy does. Hierarchy lines up with Spire of the Watcher. That lines up. Duality, Arch Shadow. You know, Gallahorn and Grasp of Avarice. Sorta. You know, there's arguments. Arguably, there is more Destiny 2 content you cannot play than Destiny 1 content. No, I mean, there's 100, there is, no, not arguably. Not arguably. There is more Destiny 2 content that you cannot play than Destiny 1 content you cannot play. I mean, there's 2 or 3 more years of Destiny 2 content you can't play. There are more campaigns. There are probably more strikes. Definitely more raids. Fucking like there's way more Destiny 2 content that you can't play.
Episodes are telling singular stories that stand on their own.
All right, so here's what we know about the second episode.
Building mysteries for the future of Destiny.
For the episodes, we introduced this single object of immense power. An echo.
Are you watching high
is the
def? I think so. Yeah, 4K.
Direct result of the battle with the Witness.
All of the darkness that was holding it together exploded out, colliding with the matter-making properties of light, manifesting all
100%,
of the...
but imagine a Destiny Classic running back from Destiny 1 into Beyond Light. Do you think they'd do that? No, surely it. Now, that's an interesting thing I didn't consider. I thought it would stop with Rise of Iron. But if they did just bring back... You're making it more enticing. Still a waste of time. No, like, yeah, look, you can say these things, but if you look at Navigator, nothing about it is like underwater, except for, I guess it looks like a whale, but nothing's like underwater hive dungeon, you know what I mean? Like thematically. So just because Icebreaker's kind of like machine-y, you know what I mean? You can easily say like, oh, Icebreaker we found Icebreaker on a pyramid ship because the Witness thought it was a power too powerful for us to have, so we used the Veil to zap it and hide. Like, you can lore retcon your way into literally any bullshit anywhere. I'm talking about like aesthetically.
different memories inside of the Witness.
This collision of darkness and light created this explosion, and so these echoes spread across the galaxy.
So this is the first time I've watched this since Echoes released. Will it regenerate ammo? I think it has to in some capacity. I don't think it'll be like it did in Destiny 1, but I think that's a core part of the Icebreaker's fantasy. I have not watched this since Echoes came out. So I'm very interested to see what they say about Echoes.
The first Echo that we encounter landed on Nessus. What
These
they
cutscenes
find
look so
there
good,
is that
though.
this Echo has transformed
Unreal.
the planet, awoken it into something it's really not supposed to be.
So this is
Go
cool.
down.
I mean, it's. I really love how
What they find
in
there is
hindsight,
that this Echo
these shots of the trailers, they're actually like pretty big parts of the season. We just didn't know that, right? So like this is Breach executable.
transformed the planet, awoken
This is the core battleground.
it into something it's
And this is Enigma Protocol. So those are like 3 giant chunks of the season, but you would never know that beforehand. I love stuff like that.
really
I think
not
that's really
supposed
cool.
to-
Icebreaker will generate ammo and damage dealt, and self-damage will count on launch, and then they'll disable it for 3 weeks.
be.
So we go down to Nessus, and we immediately realize that the Vex are acting a little strange. So we work with Failsafe, and the first activity, Breach executable.
This armor kind of goes
This is a
too.
3-player.
I mean, it's a real shame because, like, I think I want to do a video on this, but like the amount of content we got is really good. Some of it's not the best content, like Breach executable, whatever, take it or leave it. I'm weird, but I really love like the radio light farm. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. Enigma Protocol, I thought that was cool. I love the rare emblem that you have to farm that specific mission to get to drop. I think that's awesome. The battlegrounds fucking cooked. All 3 of them are excellent. I love the Ronin shell. I love the secret assimilator beacon. Encore mission, maybe not the best exotic mission. Probably the greatest depth of exotic secrets that we've ever gotten in an exotic mission, I think. Like, maybe not the most complex or the coolest secrets, but in terms of like number and like different scale, I think it definitely takes the cake on that one. Radio Light actually gave me the ick for Destiny 2, not gonna lie. Why did you go for it? You're not a Triumph guy. It is inexcusable to me that Patrol did not change like the missions. I completely agree. I could not agree more. I could not agree anymore. There is zero reason. I mean, maybe there's technical reasons, but why? I completely agree. Should have changed. 100% should have changed the patrol area. It was one small area of patrol, but big area of patrol, but you know, like one corner of Nessus. It's like 1/6 of Nessus. And when they marketed seasons, I swear they said like a big part of it was to help feel the world, like make the world feel like it was actually like moving and evolving. Like, I agree. Easily one of the worst things all season is the missed opportunity for that. Totally agree. But it really and like a lot of the weapons are good. A lot of the armor was pretty cool. One more fun. Make sure I don't get kicked. There was a lot of great stuff this episode. The narrative and the structure were just very bad. The first 6 weeks of narrative were bad. The last week, like the encore story, I thought was really good personally, but all the Saint stuff didn't really care for. It just didn't really feel that important. And then the ending, of course, I didn't like either. So. Also, what do the confluxes do? The one you can scan on Nessus now? That was like a little Easter egg that showed you to Enigma Protocol. We solved that day one. That's how we found it. Just thinking, if they remove Sunset pretty much entirely, why not revamp old raids? Wouldn't this possibly bring back a huge amount of players? So, look. Removing sunsetting is not just taking Leviathan and putting it back in the game. With Beyond Light, and these are my understandings as a non-game developer, but being friends with developers, talking to people who used to work at Bungie, that sort of thing. My understanding is that with Beyond Light, there was a very major engine shift where they didn't switch engines, but they upgraded the engine quite substantially. And that means any content that was in the game previous to that was not updated needs to be updated. So it's actually like a substantial amount of work to go in and like take Leviathan and, you know, not only update the loot pool and update ad density and that sort of stuff, but also make it work in the updated engine. So it's not just like copy paste. There's a lot of work that goes in there. So hypothetically, yes, it would be great for the game if they just took everything they took out and put it back in. But my understanding is there are many technical reasons they can't do that for. In addition to all of the extra work, the game still just can't be that big, I guess. And it makes it very difficult. So we basically got Levy in one season. I think there's quite a large difference between like the central area of the Leviathan, which is essentially a patrol space, right? And a couple, I guess we got bats and dogs too, but we didn't get Callus's place, and we didn't get Gauntlet. Or the underbelly or any of that stuff, right? There's a pretty large difference between just like putting a play space in and making sure like raid mechanics work properly. So I agree. Look, I would love this more than anything. You know, and I don't want to sit here and make excuses because that's not my job. But I do get kind of fed up with people just like saying things that we have every indication, of that they're not feasible. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I would rather people just not get their hopes up, you know? So. We did get Underbelly, Gauntlet, and Callus all in Sever missions. Did we? We got part of the yeah, I guess we did. I don't remember the Gauntlet in this ever mission. I don't know. Take it up with the raid team, man. if we can get it back, I want it back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess a lot of work has already been done there. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Player activity, arena style, kind of offensive that we haven't really done before. Got these.
There was. I just want to go back. This guy seems like a nice dude.
Fail safe and the first activity, breach executable. And this is a 3-player activity. arena style, kind of offensive that we haven't really done before.
There is nothing that sets Breach Executable apart from Menagerie, from the Sundial, from Twilight Overload, or whatever the fuck it was from Season of the Lost. From they are all the same activity. They're all the same activity, okay? You can call it an arena all you want. Same activity.
Got these big cool like geysers of radiolaria that explode out of the ground, and you need to cap them off while you're keeping the enemies.
Also, easily this one right here, easily one of the worst objectives.
At bay.
Things that have only existed in the Vex net are now coming out into the real world. You're gonna see that, like, Nessus is different now.
Is it? Is it different, though? Is it different? I just wanted to check something. This band is Electric Callboy. The one in the Black Garden? We had a seasonal activity in the Black Garden? Huh?
To the real world. You're gonna see that, like, Nessus is different now.
As we get deep.
Oh yes, indecipherable death metal font. These are my favorite hoodies. So my favorite type of merch is take bands that are not death metal and give them death metal fonts. My absolute favorite thing. So you'll see me. This is a company called Shibori Threads. They should sponsor me. Everyone go tag them, tell them to sponsor me because I have like 10 of their hoodies and they're fucking awesome. And I would love to work with them. But all of my hoodies are like this. I love this. They're my favorite. They're like this tie-dye with the death metal and their different bands. Fucking love it.
Deeper and deeper towards the core, it really starts to become very apparent.
So you're gonna go down into these landmarks and you're gonna unearth
These environments are genuinely beautiful.
the ancient secrets of a lost civilization.
We have a mysterious new enemy,
That's
and they
kinda
are
sick,
able
though,
to do
Jeff.
things that we have not encountered.
Bro, they put the marathon. They use the
We
marathon
have a mysterious
cinematic.
new enemy, and they are able to do things that we have not encountered in an
You
enemy
can't do that.
before. We're seeing new behavior from the Vex. Who is behind this? But also, what
These
are they
cutscenes are genuinely amazing.
doing, and to what end?
Genuinely a highlight of the episode. Oh, here we go.
Revenant is gonna be very Fallen themed.
The Fallen don't have a home planet any.
What's man doing? I didn't notice this the last time, I don't think.
Revenant is gonna be very Fallen.
Oh. Is this an Awoken? This is a Corsair, right? I think that's a Corsair. Is this Tanix? Holy fuck.
To all who can hear me, alert. Incoming Cabal construct. 85.
Oh, I didn't mean to close Destiny, but I did.
Fallen theme?
The Fallen don't have a home planet anymore. Reese has been gone for a long time, and they've been looking for a new home across the galaxy.
Revenant has more dark fantasy themes. It's about slaying vampires with a touch of Splicer mixed in.
Fuck, I'm so excited
The
for
player
that.
gets to be a Slayer Baron. We'll learn
What was the Lost
that
Civilization? I don't know what you're talking about. That's Jamie. She was 2 weeks from retirement. That's brutal. They cooked. They cooked the fuck out of this.
in Elixni culture,
So Exotic 1?
this was a
Well, I think we assumed this was an exotic.
role that was
Might not actually be an exotic.
reserved for the most renowned monster hunters.
For that one,
They talk about a Lost Civilization on Nessus. What was that? I haven't played this game in. It was probably just the Vex building or something. Because down in the core, they got the environments this season were fucking crazy.
took a really hard lean into the vampire hunter fantasy.
So that is 100% exotic, right?
For that one, we took a really
This is
hard
probably the
lean
seasonal
into
exotic?
the vampire hunter.
This is probably season pass exotic, I would say. Or look, we know we're getting an exotic mission. It'll probably be that same shit where you run it back over and over again. Could that be a vampire theme? Yeah. Yeah, like a rocket sidearm. I'm kind of down for that.
Fantasy.
Bro, they fucking cooked!
We're introducing this system called potion crafting. Combat potions boost your artifact directly, then your loot potions, those are going to allow you to have agency over the rewards that you're chasing. What we'd like to do in year 10 is give players more agency in their pursuits. You'll see
That, for Echoes, did not happen at all. It was just, here's all the loot. There was no loot chase because you could log in 2 seconds and get your red borders.
more experiences where you can kind of decide what you want to do in this next step.
I'm not convinced that's an exotic. I mean, it could be,
For the
for
most
sure.
monster monster hunters.
But I'm not
For that
uber
one,
convinced
we
yet.
took a
Unless
really
they
hard
show
lean
the seasonal
into
weapons.
The vampire hunter fantasy.
That's
We're
right, Blue's coming back and better.
introducing this
Ooh, I would love for the Tangled Shore weapons to come
system
back.
called
Fuck.
potion crafting.
I bet the Tangled Shore weapons will come back just like the Dawn weapons did.
Combat potions boost your artifact directly, then your loot potions, those are going to allow you to have agency
They showed like 5 different pieces of concept art for stuff, and they all look like different design fantasies. We'll go back and watch it.
over the rewards.
But
that
like this season, they did that too, right? Like we have the one armor set that's like the Root of Nightmares armor set, and then we have the armor set that's the Vex Samurai armor set. So they do that.
you're chasing. What we'd like to do in year 10 is give players more agency in their pursuits. You'll see more experiences where you can kind of decide what you want to do in this next step.
Do you think something will happen in this episode to make Fikrul killable for good? No, I think that the episode will end with Fikrul sailing off into open space with the Echo and not dead. Because Bungie likes to crush me.
Fikrul is back, and he's got the Echo. And this is what Fikrul's using to build his new army of darkness. He's moved
But Fikrul also looks like fucking awesome.
into an awoken watchtower. Fikrul's vampire keep. We took a lot of inspiration from horror.
So that has to be, you cannot convince me. Fikrul's Vampire Keep is the exotic mission. It has got to be the exotic mission, and the stake rocket sidearm is the exotic. 100%, right? There's no way. There's literally no way.
for that one.
I want to rewatch that real quick before we get into Heresy. New Army of Darkness, was that not just the Scorn? It's the Dread. If you look in the cutscene, I'll point it out. They've got pyramid ships too.
Revenant is going to be very fallen theme.
The Fallen don't have a home planet anymore. Reese has been gone for a long time, and they've been looking for a new home across the galaxy.
Revenant has more dark fantasy themes. It's about
Look, I'm a big fantasies better than sci-fi guy. So this speaks to me, okay? This speaks to my heart. I'm excited for this.
slaying vampires with a touch of Splicer mixed in.
Spike-On's most likely a breach GL. Layout matches GL. You can see a line where it pops open. Boring.
The player
Rocket
gets to be a
sidearms on
Slayer
top, baby.
Baron. Will learn that
Oh my... Bro, this armor's incredible.
in Elixni culture,
This it gives me big Blundergat vibes. Do we think it'll shoot like a... it gives me like a blunderbuss. Or like it'll shoot like a... like a... like just like an orb.
this was a role that was reserved for the most renowned monster hunters.
For that one, we took a really hard lean into the vampire
This armor I'm not as keen about. I'll take, no one gives a fuck about Bungie being an independent company of about 500 working, Destiny-loving devs plus players themselves got let go. I don't think that's a hot take. I think at the end of the day, as consumers, like our like number one, or I don't want to speak for everyone, but my number one thing is I want employees to be treated correctly. Like, obviously I want to enjoy Destiny and I love consuming the content and I love making videos and doing that. But at the end of the day, like, I want the people making the game to be compensated fairly and treated fairly. And, you know, I don't care if that happens if they're under Sony. I don't care. Like, obviously I think like big corporatization of like the video game industry is a very bad thing. And it's only going to continue to happen. Sony, Microsoft are going to keep buying things, or Activision and Sony and they all, like, all these companies are going to keep amassing and amassing. I think that's like an objectively bad thing. I think more independent studios is good, but there's only so far you can go as an independent studio. And if you're a publicly traded company, then you are, you know, it's demanded that you're growing 10, 12% per year. And you can only do that so long before getting incorporated into one of these giants. But then also, that sort of growth is unsustainable, and then you know, it leads to the big fall of all these companies. So massive layoffs and stuff. So I don't think that's a hot take though. Our number one priority should always be the people working on these games. I'm so sad we're not getting Destiny 3 for going out of the solar system. Deserve a fresh start. Preaching to the choir, buddy. Preaching to the choir. I don't think Destiny 3 will solve anything since Destiny 2 launch didn't fix much either, except for new marketing hype. Destiny 2's launch fixed like an incredible amount. Looked better, played better. I mean, think about all the systems in Destiny 2. Like, there are systems that Destiny 2 launched with that I think were bad, but I think as a whole, the experience of Destiny 2 was better, and we got that fresh start. And then they were able to walk back a lot of the things as well. Sorry, this is a bit bright. I mean, just like performance upgrades, you have things like mantling and like all that, all the, you know, because we moved on from previous gen and we were able to rebuild Destiny for the next gen consoles and stuff. Like, we have all of our storage space, you know, you have all your loading times, like, stuff's way better now, way better. And if we then got this next gen jump, there would be even more quality of life things like that, right? Plus the fresh start. There's a big difference between playing a game for 3 years, like we did there, or 3.5, whatever. Yeah, 3.5, 4. I don't fucking remember. I think it was 3.5. Versus now, I mean, we've been on this game for twice that long. You know what I mean? The big difference, big difference. Wish more studios would stay independent. I'm still mad at Gearbox for what they did to Risk Rain 2. Yeah, I mean, it's the world we live in, dude. They didn't want a Destiny 2 that fast. There's also a big difference there. Sony acquisition, good or bad? I think, look, with the information we know, we cannot say. What we know is inside sources that have been laid off or whatever have told us that Destiny or Bungie likely would have went bankrupt if they weren't acquired, which I think is an objectively bad thing for all of the employees and the game in general, no matter what your viewpoint is. But like we don't know. Like we have like little glimpses every 6 months into these conversations. Oh, Sony's leadership said this. Oh, Pete Parsons did this. This guy did this. But we don't know. You know what I mean? Even the employees within Destiny. You know, I work at a very large company, much larger than Bungie, in fact, much larger than Bungie. And I can tell you definitively, I have no idea what's going on with the entire organization at any given point in time. I know what my team of 100 people are doing. And I know what we're doing next. And I know every quarter when we sit in on the town halls or the investment calls, I know like the points the public gets. But the reality is in these large companies, no matter where, unless you are Pete Parsons or you're one of the VPs or you're one of the stockholders, you are not privy to all this information. So it's like, we don't know the full story. We will never know the full story. Objectively, we will never know. We will never, ever know. What we do know is that there's been a series of bad decisions made by people in power at Bungie, it appears, where they diversifying your portfolio and making different products and expanding, you know, your stuff is necessary for the American economy and being a publicly traded company. Or, you know, having the type of company that Bungie was / is. Not publicly traded, but you know what I mean? Like being a company with shareholders that demand growth. This sort of thing, diversifying is very important. Not only focusing on Destiny. We know that they were burning money. We know that they were losing money with just doing Destiny. The problem was how they, chemistry major, not a business major. My interpretation is the problem is how they went and then over diversified and put things into 10 different projects and none of them had any monetary return before they went too far in the red. That's how it goes. You have to diversify. You have to expand in this sort of economy. It just didn't. You have to take risks with research and development, and they didn't pan out fast enough. It's just how it goes. So I think the whole thing. Then this is why I call for you know, we shouldn't have to live like that. That's just. I think at a certain point a company should be able to be content with how big they are. You know, let's say Bungie sustaining the livelihoods of 1,000 to 1,200 people. And they're making money for everyone regardless. They should just be happy with that. You know what I mean? But we can't. We're not allowed to do that.
Vampire Hunter fantasy.
We're introducing this system called potion crafting. Combat potions boost your artifact directly, then your loot potions, those are going to allow you to have agency over the rewards.
I think even though it sucks with the layoffs, them just having to focus on 2 games will improve both. I 100% agree. I believe that will end up transforming into the actual MMORPG they wanted. I'm not going to go that ambitious, but I do think in the short term, Marathon is going to greatly benefit from it. And I think if Marathon does well, a lot of those resources are going to be put back into a potential Destiny sequel or future Destiny 2 stuff. I think you know, it's very much a symbiotic relationship between the 2 games. I don't think either does well without both doing well. What would you do if you switched the bodies with Pete for 24 hours? I would transfer all of his money into my bank account. After Concord, I wonder if Marathon will shut down now. Escape from Tarkov players weren't happy with the game test and devs didn't like it either. So look, and once again, this is like, look, we can take these, you know, we can take these very hyper specific. Concord, let's not mince words. Concord was a once in a lifetime catastrophic failure. It is almost impossible for that sort of failure to ever happen again. It was a perfect storm of so many things that went wrong with that game. There's no way that ever happens again. Marathon, no matter what, will not be the next Concord. It might not do well. It might do great. I don't know. It will not do that. Not with the Sony marketing machine, and especially not with the Bungie marketing machine behind it. Marathon we haven't learned any new information about Marathon in a year and a half, 2 years, and it's still more hyped up than Concord. Easily. Not even close. They could shadow drop it tomorrow, and it would do infinitely better. I have no doubt in my entire mind about that. They could shadow drop it tomorrow for $80, and it would do better than Concord. Okay? We can nitpick these random games all day and say, what if Marathon's this? What if Marathon's this? We could. But we have the tried and true history of Bungie. Bungie isn't making a game for Tarkov players. A quadruple A studio like Bungie would be very, very stupid for them to make a game for Tarkov players when Tarkov exists. Okay, that is a very niche market. What Bungie has historically done and what they've always tried to do is take unapproachable game genres and make them more widely approachable. So when they made Halo, they weren't trying to make an Unreal Tournament. They weren't trying to make a Quake. I think those games already existed at the time. They were trying to make a more approachable to the everyday person without a $1,000 PC version of a video game that everyone could enjoy. When they made Destiny, they're not trying to make a WoW. They're not trying to make a whatever a RuneScape. You know what I mean? They were trying to take this formula that was more niche and make it way more applicable and approachable to a wider audience. I can guarantee you, Marathon is not just an extraction shooter. You know what I mean? There's going to be a Bungie twist to it. This is how it goes. The same way Fortnite took PUBG as well, took a pretty popular, growing, very niche thing and put a more approachable twist on it. That's what Marathon is. Yeah, WoW is so niche. Maybe look at those numbers. Look at those numbers about a decade ago, buddy. I'll be surprised if Marathon doesn't get canceled. Marathon is not going to get canceled. It's been in development for 6 years, dog. If Marathon doesn't do well, Bungie is... okay. There's not a world where Marathon gets canceled. I think the problem is the lack of new blood due to the gutting of new light content. They already said this. It's not just the lack of new blood. All of the interest in Destiny is older players, and we don't buy as much. Destiny's not very approachable from a younger audience. They directly said that with the layoffs. They 100% came out and said that. We're too old. I know for a fact Marathon won't get canceled. Yeah. Sony canceled the finished Last of Us multiplayer game. Yes. I think they're retooling it if I'm not mistaken. But B, also not anywhere close to the scale of a Bungie game.
Chasing. What we'd like to do in year 10 is give players more agency in their pursuits. You'll see more experiences where you can kind of decide what you want.
Yo, Akira, I got a question related to Echoes. There's a secret ghost shell that we get from beating those secret world bosses. Is it possible to farm the secret bosses each day until it drops? Yeah, that ghost shell, the Ronin shell, also just drops from Battlegrounds randomly. So you can just farm Battlegrounds. No, I got canceled outright, but you're correct. Did it? Sorry. I don't play PlayStation games. I thought I had read that they were just retooling it, but I could be very incorrect. It's not my thing. Much more writing on Marathon success for both Bungie and Sony. Yeah, it's different. You're comparing apples and oranges, and scales of games are just not even close to the same. I mean, think about the pure investment alone that Sony has writing on this, right? There's a better chance assets from Marathon getting ejected into Destiny than it... Look, I'm not much of a game developer, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. I'm gonna take this thing and just put it in Destiny. I don't think that works, dog. I don't think you can do that. I'm gonna need some game devs to comment on that, but that feels like some Twitter game developer bullshit. You haven't answered my question about your propaganda. Oh, let's go. You think you'd have games at all under communism? Where did I call for communism, dog? North Korea is... is when no video game, by the way. Venezuela is when no video game. That's not, there's a huge, like if you pull up like a political spectrum, right? And you look at American, capitalism, the Democratic Republic, whatever you want, like wherever you think we lie, whatever metrics you want to use. And then you draw communism. There's like huge space in there, buddy. But ideas for Marathon? I don't think they would do that. It's fine. Whatever. We're good.
To do in this next step?
Fikrul is back.
Jason Schreier was on the FPS podcast, and he said that the feelings for Marathon in-house aren't good, but who knows? I think his specific wording, let me pull this up. I think his specific wording was more about like, not about the feelings about the game, but like the general mentality. Because I remember reading this Marathon FPS podcast. I think it was just like the devs feel like shit because they're constantly being bullied on Twitter and shit for existing. I want to see, oh, of course. I want to see the exact words. People I've talked to are a little pessimistic about even it hitting its current planned deadline, but we'll see. I don't know exactly when it is, sometime in 2025, I'm not sure. Yeah, the sentiment I've heard is not great, at least of a few months ago. So, I mean, that's a very fucking vague sentence, right? Sleebo, dog, you're a fucking bot. Go away. You clearly have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Goodbye. Look, and this is like, if you are at a company, right? Let's say you're, and maybe, look, maybe if someone can link me the podcast, I'll look at the actual context of this. But imagine you're at a company, right? And you're working on product B, and product A is a fucking massive success, right? And then product A starts slowing down, and all eyes turn to you. And you are told, internally, we know they have been told, Marathon, it's make or break for Bungie. Marathon is it. And everyone that loves product A is immediately coming for your head because you're working on product B. And they've never seen a second of gameplay of product B. But they fucking hate you because you killed product A to them. Literally, they didn't. But you know what I mean? If you are that person, and then you watch 500 of your friends get laid off, you see, like there's all of this stuff. There's so many huge sentiments, and I'm sure so many of these people, they think they're working on an amazing product, but they can't talk about it. They can't defend themselves. They have to sit here and take our bullshit. You know what I mean? You would fucking hate your life too, man. You know what I mean? It's like, this is why I'm so, like, this is why I'm always calling to give this a fair chance. We know there are so many amazingly talented, passionate people working on this game, and we have just condemned it to die just because it's not Destiny. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, let's just see. Let's just wait and see a literal second of gameplay first. You know what I mean? Product A is struggling financially, so they need Product B to help fund Product A. Yeah, at this point, like, it is literally like, there are so many things riding on this, and yet so much of this community is just riding it off. The amount of time you can just go on Twitter and be like, I hope Marathon fails. It's like, that's a crazy thing to say about the thing that supplies the livelihood for at least like 300 people. You know what I mean? It's just absurd. I don't know. It's just not a mentality. And like I said, I know not everyone always takes like the more humanitarian first approach like I do. But like I genuinely want to see, like, there's nothing better for me than seeing someone get to present art or a product that they're like genuinely so super excited and passionate about. So I'm saying, let's give it a fucking chance. We don't even know what this looks like. We just have no idea. Anyways, we'll keep going. I really said it a million times, but like they should have started working on Destiny 3. I totally agree. But that's not like a marathon thing, right? There were 100 different projects seemingly that they were developing. Their idea for a Destiny follow-up was a third-person action-adventure role-playing game. You know what I mean? There were 100 other bad decisions that never came to fruition, that never gave them any money, that resources and like actual talent and figureheads of the Destiny franchise were put on and moved away from, right? There were so many other decisions made that were not Marathon. They needed to diversify. You know, in how we run things here. Everyone makes Marathon the boogeyman. And it's just like, look, man, I've never played this game. I've never seen this game. I know fucking nothing about this game. But give it a chance, you know? Marty O'Donnell's really ripping in the Marathon every chance he gets. Kind of unprofessional. He's a fucking dumbass, dude. Don't give him any time of day. He's literally an idiot. There's like... You literally cannot put that in any other words. Marty O'Donnell has brain disease, okay? That's like... That's it, okay? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Yeah, he's a grifter. Well put. That's a lot more eloquent than I was saying. Gaming communities in general have become much more volatile and pessimistic, and it's disappointing. Some people either can't or don't care to see human cost beyond these projects. I know. I really hate that. I really, really hate that. And it makes it... Because the second, as well, that you try to kind of put into perspective the human cost, you're a fucking simp. You know what I mean? It's just like... It's gross. It's fucking gross. We've become so disconnected about things. Not to mention, Destiny 3 is really hard to sell to Sony when you don't have another game or some sort of revenue source. Yeah, and look, I agree. I want Destiny 3 probably more than like the significant number of people on this planet. Do not get me wrong. And I hope we get one day. I think there are a number of other very bad decisions that were made, and we should maybe take a look at all of those before like signing up for a self-fulfilling prophecy about Marathon dying. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I do agree. It was someone said this. I might have been Vertigo. I don't remember, but someone said that. I don't think it was Vertigo now that I think about it, but someone in chat said that they do think that Destiny and Marathon will benefit from those two being the only two products in development at Bungie, and I completely agree. And I'm excited to see a more refined focus. I think that's the biggest problem, right? Like if you look at Bungie's plan, they went from Destiny to we want to be a 3 IP studio. And I think there's a very important bridge between 1 and 3 that they just kind of forgot about. It's 2. It's 2. It's what they're doing now. It's this one. It's this one right here. So
he's got the Echo, and this is what Fickrel's using to build his new army of darkness. And he's moved into
Fickrel is so hot, dude. Jesus Christ.
New army of...
That's absurd. So this season we get, if you go to the, we got the Root of Nightmares Battle Pass armor, and then you got that full armor, and then the next tier we got all of the Vex armor. And then like when you hit rank 200, you get the universal helmet. And it's one Root of Nightmares helmet that's shared between your 3 characters. I hope our universal helmet for next season is Fickrel's helmet. I think that would be so sick.
Darkness. And he's moved into an Awoken Watchtower. Fickrel's Vampire Keep. We took a lot of inspiration from horror for that one.
Big fan of horror.
Heresy is about the Hive Pantheon, dealing with some new interesting revelations that happen.
Really haven't paid that much attention. Was Matter the Destiny? No, Matter was something entirely separate. Matter was not Marathon. Matter was not Gummy Bears. Matter was not Payback. Matter was something complete. It was its own IP, and it is dead. It has been dead for a couple of years, I believe. The Destiny spinoff was Payback. That is also dead. Marathon, still alive. Gummy Bears spun off into its own studio under Sony Entertainment. Have you heard the Marathon $40 price box rumor? I think a box price is the best thing to do, IMO. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard good arguments on both sides. You know, if there's a $40 price, then they won't like fucking run us into the ground for microtransactions, which is good. $40, that sort of entrance, I've seen people say, and it's a good point, I never would have thought about this, but people on Twitter were talking about how it kind of deters cheaters, that sort of thing, which for a competitive game, that makes sense. I don't know, like, how big, I mean, like, Tarkov, I tried to get into Tarkov when it first came out, and, like, I think it was, like, $40, $60, and $80 or some shit. Like, I remember it being, like, absurdly expensive. For, like, and it was like, oh, you can get the $100 version, and you get 3 extra guns or something. So, I don't know. Like, I honestly have no idea. I don't play a lot of the competitive games. I play essentially no competitive games. I played a lot of Apex and Fortnite. Those are free. I only played those on console though, so I didn't really have to worry about cheaters at the time. Play a lot of Warzone, play a lot of Call of Duty. Those are paid. Is Warzone paid? I don't know. Helldivers price tag. I mean, $40 seems like the new like live game small barrier of entry, but we still need to recoup some of our cost price. I think it's not, depending on the size of a game, I don't think that's bad. Like, did anyone play Helldivers that thinks $40 was too expensive? Oh, Warzone's free to play? I actually didn't know that. So is multiplayer paid then? $40 would be a fine price point. I want to buy it regardless. I'm so disappointed with Bungie management the minute I can't bring myself to launch Destiny 2 since the layoffs. Yeah, I feel that, dude. So, I don't know. I have to wait and see the size and scope of Marathon, obviously. But I will say if it's $40 and then they still run us like Eververse money, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Like, if there's earnable cosmetics and paid cosmetics, I'm fine. But if we go back to like Shadowkeep time where we pay for the expansion and then microtransactions, the only place that you can get cool cosmetics are microtransactions and they're ridiculously expensive. We can't go back to that. We can never go back to that. It's, you know, if it's going to be $40, there needs to be earnable end game cosmetics through gameplay. It's saying Call of Duty does this, right? You buy the game, you can grind out your master crafts, you can grind out your mastery camos, you can get all of this stuff. They're cool, it's all free. But then you can buy cosmetic packs in addition to that. That's fine. I have no qualms with that. But if it was Call of Duty, you spent $60 and then the only other skins are paid skins, that's not okay.
We want to take the Hive Pantheon and shake up the snow globe. It means that we want to take the existing relationships that we see inside of it and put them through such a stress test that they come out changed.
I still have no idea what the fuck that means. Does anyone know what that means?
There's this new eldritch force that's bubbling up to the surface that
I also don't know what that means.
That is opening new doors, creating powerful mysteries, and
he said my word though, mysteries. We're connected.
Ultimately, they'd lead us back to the Dreadnought.
We're going back to the Dreadnought. It's awesome.
God, okay, if they can expand, so this season had so many secrets in it and puzzles and stuff. I just want them to fucking, I want that to explode, man. We're right there. I think the best indication that Bungie's like right there, the Whisper secret in Encore, is like one of those it's like, it's not the most complex thing, but they're kind of testing the waters. It's very weird. You know, it's like it requires you to have a certain exotic that's completely unrelated from that mission. And it's in a, you know, a completely like unmentioned area of the mission. And it didn't release until week 3. Really fucking weird and cool. And it's like, we're just right there. We're right there. Right there, dude. Right there. It's just boom. We're almost back to another Whisper mission. You know what I mean? Niobe Labs, Corridors of Time, Whisper the Word. You know, bring me back. We're right there, Bungie. Bring me back, please. No, I know what the words mean. I mean, when they're saying them like that, I can say fun, cool words in random orders. That does not like give them good directed meaning within context, is my point. 0 hour, less extent. I'm not as huge on 0 hour, but yeah, you know. Do you think we'll see the orc survival plotline for the 3rd time? No. Ugh. Man. I just want this. Bam. I just want it to explode. We're right there. We're right there, man. More secrets.
Some fans might think we've forgotten about the Dreadnought completely, but we're gonna give it a whole new purpose.
We want this to be an eldritch, inscrutable fortress of secrets.
The peeling that you'll see on the Dread.
It's so funny. The new exotic missions are made because Whisper and 0 hour is so successful, but they completely ignore most of what that made them successful. Not all of them. Like Presage was, it's hard because it's like, they spend a lot of time on them, right? And so I get it. They've become like fundamental parts of the marketing machine. And I hate that. Don't get me wrong. I hate that. I hate that we know that. I love the assurance that we're getting 2 more exotic missions this year, but I hate that we know that we're getting 2 more exotic missions this year. You know what I mean? I hate that they're part of the storyline. I really liked how like Presage, we kind of knew it existed, but it just kind of popped up one day. I thought that was cool. But yeah, like the Seraph Shield thing, the Starcross thing, the Encore thing, where it's like, hey, now go do this. I think Avalon did it great. I think Avalon did a really great job of just like, hey, there's just a random fucking secret again. That's sick. But when I'm talking about secrets, like I really love exotic missions and I think they're great. But we've had so many of them at this point, and we've discovered them in every single way at this point. The answer is not that anymore. When we're talking about puzzles that are going to get us enthralled again, and puzzles that are going to capture a widespread community, get everyone getting excited for it, we need something else. We need another one of these Niobe Labs, or Imbaru, I think, did a really good job of this. Wasn't quite on the scale, but it was kind of like it all led up to like a final secret in the Aham Car Egg. I think that was cool. I kind of wish Imbaru, like that first part would have been like the first part of Corridors of Time, and then it would have exploded into a bigger puzzle like Corridors of Time did. Or Niobe Labs did the same thing, in fact. We need another one of those. We need another huge thing, I think. APIs ruin almost all exotics, new secret mission editions. I don't agree. I mean, look, Whisper, we knew that was returning. 0 hour, we knew that was returning. Like, everything has been data mined up to this point. If you make it a puzzle, like Imbaru, like Niobe Labs, like Corridors of Time, where the solution cannot be data mined, then who the fuck cares what you can see in the API? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Didn't Presage just pop up as a mission, go to Arms Dealer? No. It was Arms Dealer. I don't think so, at least. I believe Arms Dealer was just the Nightfall. And if you went close enough to that area, a random objective mark popped up. So. But yeah, I just don't think exotic missions are like the secret things that I love exotic missions and I hope we keep getting them. But I think in terms of like satiating those secrets for the community, I think we need to start moving in a different direction, a less predictable direction is my point. It is an electric cowboy hoodie, yeah. Really not sure why they don't do like an Avalon style thing for the missions. I thought it was weird the conductor holograms on Nessus were going to be something, but nope. They the conductor things were Enigma Protocol. They led you to that. They also just made it, if you didn't do Enigma Protocol, if you didn't find it yourself, they just made it like 10 quest steps later direct you to it. But that's what those do. +1 API still hit Choir of 1 for me after I got the gun and finished the mission. Oh.
But not the
But I don't really care if we know the reward. You know what I mean? I guess I kind of do. It's like, but it's so hard. The thing I like about exotic or about secrets, Niobe Labs, you know, the shell is cool. I still always use it on my Titan. That was awesome, like that experience. But for me, the greatest thing about the puzzle is solving it, is working as a community to solve these ARGs. That is much less important to me, or that is much more important to me than like the rewards. A lot of people were disappointed in Quarters of Time just giving you Bastion. I don't give a fuck because that puzzle was sick, bro.
weapons themselves are peeling back to reveal a new spooky bony front.
Bony
Since
Front was my
this
nickname in high school, actually.
release deals with kind of two big themes. We have two armor sets. We've had some
God, dude, their rewards team absolutely fucking slayed
weapons
for these episodes. I mean, this is absurd.
themselves are peeling back to
What a cool idea.
reveal a new spooky bony front.
Like the Admiral armor, sick.
Since
And
this
like, come on, don't even
release deals with kind of two big themes.
like
We have
crazy
two
armor,
sets.
dude.
We've had some armor
Crazy
sets that
armor.
are kind of in the Eris theme in the past, but this is like straight up I'm Eris's squad. And then the Hive Ship Navigator armor set explores like, what if we were driving the ship? What if we were the navigators?
If you really like
Oh, bruh. That's so fucking cool. There goes Summon Quarters of Time was one of the coolest things they've ever done. I love that callback. That's really cool. It's really crazy how they can still come up with new stuff even though we've had like a billion Hive theme sets. I know, that blows my mind too. It really does. I say this every time we get a raid. I'm like, okay, we've had all of the mechanics they can possibly come up with. There's no way. And then like we get a fucking Verity where we're making shapes and I'm just like, oh my God, how did they do it? And now I'm here again. I'm like, they'll never make another mechanic that'll ever stump us again.
like Shattered Realm, if you
Oh. Shattered Realm is also, in my opinion, one of the most underrated activities of all time in Destiny. I loved Shattered Realm. Easily one of the coolest seasonal things they've ever done.
if you really liked the coil, you're going to love this new Dreadnought activity. With every episode,
But also Shattered Realm and Coil are two like incredibly different things. So
there are a ton of interesting twists and turns that I don't think anybody's really going to suspect. We haven't seen anything like this in Destiny before, and I'm excited to get after it.
oh, is this Luke Smith? No, he was before this. Oh my God. I just noticed they deleted the Luke Smith part. Oh my God. They got rid of Luke Smith, bro. I'm dying. No, that was here. That was totally here, was it not? Where was that? That was here. That was in the final shape reveal? Oh, is he still there? Oh, God. Wait, where's the final shape live stream? Okay. Thank you, Lab. Oh, fuck! Are you serious? I said thank you. I said thank you in everything. All right, they didn't get rid of Luke Smith. I thought they did. That would have been so funny. Oh, fuck. So, alrighty. Well, I think that's where I'm gonna call it for today. I think Lab just ended my fucking career. So, long story short, I don't know. I'm gonna give Marathon a chance. I think we owe it to a lot of these passionate people, and it's just, I don't know, man. I really hate writing things off before we see them. Might it be a bad game? Maybe we don't like it. Might it be a good game? Maybe we love it. Might it be $40? Possibly. Could it be more? Everything we expect and more? Who the fuck knows? I have literally no idea what to expect. I'm not saying it'll be perfect. I'm not saying it'll be good, but I think it is silly to not at least give it a chance. So, and I am incredibly excited for next episode, Revenant. I'm very excited for Revenant. So, yeah, just once again, I won't be here on Revenant launch. I'll try to do something that night if I can make it work from my hotel room. We shall see. But if not, at the very least, I will 1 billion% be back for the dungeon launch, and we are going to go hard with the Dungeon World's first race. We're going to go hard with solving the secrets under contest mode. You know, we will absolutely be covering everything we can about the dungeon. So, all right, everyone. Have a fantastic night. I love your faces, and I'll see you very soon, my friends. Less than 3 weeks? No, 3 weeks in 1 day. 3 weeks. Peace out. See you, everyone. Tag is Tagged or Toten, finishing zombies, probably tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. I'll let you know. But either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm pretty confident in that. And we'll be Tagged or Toten, and then we'll move on to Cold War. Okay, everyone. Love your face. Peace.